Hey, I'm here at Band Gig and I have a little break between some students, so I figured I would try a new video idea. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a song and kind of delve into it, analyze it, and discover what makes it amazing. And I figured, for no real reason other than it's just an awesome song, and it popped into my head, All My Loving by the Beatles. It's absolutely amazing. It's like 2 minutes and 4 seconds long or something, and it is like pure pop genius from start to finish. There isn't a single second wasted in this song. It's astounding. It's off of their second UK album, and it was on their first US album, because what happened was when the albums were released in the US, they sort of jumbled up the songs that they had for the US market. So it was on the first US album, but the second UK album, I consider it being on their second album. But anyway, it's amazing. It's a song that Paul wrote, although it was credited to Lennon and McCartney, as was their agreement. But Paul wrote it, and it's just an amazing song. I've jotted down some notes, so just to make sure that that I'm hitting all the things that I want to hit. So let's take a look at it. It starts a cappella, the first two syllables, actually the first two words, single syllable words, starts a cappella, and then the first chord, F sharp minor, B7, E, C sharp minor. Don't worry if you're going to watch this video. I'm not going to get too much into the music theory of everything. But this does help to sort of see the layout. So even if you don't really read music or anything, you can see that, like, C sharp minor, C augmented, E, C sharp minor, C augmented, E. That's the same thing. 2 lines. But anyway, so it's interesting because I believe it's in the key of E major, but it starts on F sharp minor, which is the 2 chord, and then the A is the 4 chord, then the 2 chord, then the 4 chord. It goes along, this is actually the 2 chord, the 5, the dominant 7, 5, finally the root chord, then the minor 6 chord, the 6th chord, which is minor in a major key anyway, the 4, the 2, then the D. It isn't even in the key, so it's just a wrong chord, but it sounds great. Then we get to the B7, which is the 5, with the 7th added. So B7 pops up a bunch, which is kind of cool. Lots of minor chords, which is a little bit unusual for a major sounding song. Then the final line, 4, 5, and then the 1 chord, the root chord. We finally get to the root chord, although it is played here and here, but we finally really kind of land on the root chord at the end of the verse. Plays that for 4 measures, for 4 beats, 1 measure, 4 beats, and then the E stops on the 1. And then it actually starts then the next verse. So it hits you with the verse, bam, then the second verse, bam, then it goes right to the chorus. A little bit of a change in feel, kind of change things up again a little bit. After 2 verses in a row, that change is really kind of a neat thing, because if, and you shouldn't be, but if you were starting to sort of get a little bored with the 2 verses in a row, which you shouldn't, the chorus really kind of grabs you back in again. C sharp minor is the 6th chord. Then the C augmented is an out of key chord. The note C is not in the key of E major, but the C sharp minor has a C sharp, then the C augmented has a C, then the E chord at the end has the note B in it. So what ends up happening is you have the notes going down C sharp, C, B, and this chord leads from this chord to this chord really well. It's out of key, so it sort of stands out, sort of like the D does up here. It stands out, it kind of catches your attention like, hey, wait, that sounds weird. And then it hits you right with the root chord. So we're right back in key, right with the root chord, which is really sort of the home chord. We're right back in like safe at home kind of a thing. Then it goes to a solo. So remember, we're talking about just over a 2-minute long song. So they really can't go back to another verse and then have a solo later, because now we're talking about a 3-minute long song. So right into the solo, bam. The solo section is actually different than all the rest of the parts in the song. It's the 4 chord and the root chord, then the 2, the 5, and then the root, with the stop again at the end. So this song is just hook after hook after hook after hook. It's like 5 songs worth of hooks crammed into the 2 minutes. The stops at the end of everything is just another hook. It sort of really catches your attention and grabs your ear, and the stop, the way that they construct them with the vocals coming back in after every stop, it really, each stop really leads into the next section, like it has to go into the next section. When you listen to it, you'll hear it, it just flows from part to part to part to part perfectly. After the little solo, which is kind of like a country-ish solo by George, I guess Paul originally thought in interviews, he felt that this might be like a country-ish kind of a song. And of course it turned out to be not. But George still did a country-ish kind of a solo in the middle. It goes into a verse with the stop and everything, and then it goes into the chorus. But now suddenly, at the end of this chorus, there is no stop. It just goes right into the outro, which is C sharp minor, E, and E, which again doesn't pop up anywhere else in the song. It's similar to the chorus, but it's not, because this has the C augmented chord, the out of key chord. This stays perfectly in key, and then the stop. And from the 2 minutes preceding that, you hear that stop, and it really feels like something else needs to happen. This outro being different, and lyrically it's also a little bit different too. It almost sounds like a bridge. And then we should go into maybe the chorus again, or a verse and then a chorus or something, in outro and the chorus. It sounds almost like a bridge, but what ends up happening is it stops and really just leaves you wanting more. You get to the end of it and you just wish it kept going. And that is really the sign of an amazing pop song. They go through 2 minutes of, like I said, musical genius all the way through, and at the end of it, you still want more. It's not enough that it ended. So there we are. That's what makes All My Loving by the Beatles so amazing, I think. But I could be wrong. Is there anything that I missed? No, I think I touched on everything that I wanted to. So it's an absolutely amazing song. And if you do play an instrument, here's the chord chart for you.